Your dog snarled the second your closest friend stepped inside your home. You brushed it off. 3 months later, that same person shattered your trust completely. Coincidence? Researchers say no. Your dog had already figured it out. By the time this video ends, you will never dismiss your dog's instincts again. Let's get into it. Starting with ability number 6. 6 dogs can identify a cruel person. A landmark study published in Neuroscience and Biobehavioral Reviews explored a question dog owners have long debated. Can dogs genuinely assess someone's character? Researchers designed a controlled social scenario. A dog owner struggled to open a sealed container while 2 actors stood nearby. In one version, an actor stepped in and helped willingly. In a second version, the actor remained passive, neither helping nor refusing. In the third version, the actor deliberately turned away and offered no help at all. The dogs observed every moment of each scenario. Afterward, each actor offered the dog a treat directly. Results were striking. Dogs readily accepted food from the actor who had helped their owner. Most dogs also accepted food from the neutral bystander. Dogs consistently refused food from the actor who had denied helping, despite never having been personally harmed by that individual. The dog had formed a moral judgment based purely on observed behavior towards someone they cared about. 5 dogs can detect when you are lying to them. A research team based in Japan designed an experiment to test something more specific than cruelty. They wanted to know whether dogs could identify deliberate deception. The setup was straightforward. 2 containers were placed in front of a dog. One held food. One was empty. A person pointed at the container with the food. The dog followed, found the treat, and was satisfied. The same person then pointed at the empty container. The dog followed, found nothing. On the third attempt, that same person pointed back to the container that genuinely held food. A purely logical animal would follow the gesture and find the reward. That is not what happened. The majority of dogs ignored the instruction entirely. One act of misdirection was enough to classify that person as untrustworthy. The dog had no mechanical reason to distrust the gesture. The food was still there, but the dog had already categorized the person as unreliable and chose not to engage. 4. Your dog will carry your scent. A dog's olfactory system is estimated to be between 10,000 and 100,000 times more sensitive than a human's. More importantly, scent for dogs is not a neutral data point. It is deeply tied to emotion and memory. Brain imaging research has shown that when a dog detects the scent of a person who represents safety and affection, the neurological reward centers activate, the same regions that light up in humans when they encounter something they deeply love. The longer an owner has been absent, the more intense that neurological response appears to be upon return. Your dog is not simply happy to see you come through the door. Your dog is experiencing a full replay of your shared emotional history, triggered by a single breath of your scent. Studies also suggest that dogs do not simply move on when an owner is gone for an extended period or does not return. The persistent absence of a familiar scent registers in dogs as genuine loss. Dogs grieve, and scent is central to that grief. 3 dogs can read and interpret human facial expressions. For years, scientists debated whether non-human animals could genuinely interpret emotional content on a human face. A research team in Austria put this to the test. Dogs were shown photographs of human faces on a touchscreen, cropped to show only the upper or lower half, eliminating posture and context. Some dogs were trained to select happy faces. Others were trained to select angry faces. Researchers then introduced entirely new faces the dogs had never seen before. Dogs correctly identified the emotional expression consistently, proving they had developed a genuine understanding of human facial emotion, not just pattern memorization. But the most striking finding came before any training began. Dogs already showed a natural, unprompted reluctance to touch images of angry human faces. No one taught them this. It appeared to be fully instinctive. This instinct did not emerge randomly. It is the product of thousands of years of coevolution. Dogs and humans developing a shared emotional language across generations. 2 dogs can detect serious illness inside the human body. This is not anecdote. This is not exaggeration. This is peer-reviewed, published science, and it is already being applied to save lives. Cancerous cells produce volatile organic compounds that differ in measurable ways from those generated by healthy tissue. These differences are so minute that conventional diagnostic tools have historically struggled to detect them. Dogs can. A study conducted at the University of California California, Davis trained dogs to differentiate between tissue samples from cancer patients and healthy individuals, with accuracy levels that astonished the research team. In the United Kingdom, an organization called Medical Detection Dogs extended this work to include prostate, breast, colorectal, and lung cancer detection performed using breath, urine, and biological tissue samples. The potential for non-invasive early-stage cancer screening through trained dogs is actively being developed as a real clinical tool. Beyond cancer, trained dogs have demonstrated the ability to alert individuals with type 1 diabetes to dangerous drops in blood glucose, often before the person feels any symptoms, predict epileptic seizures before onset, warn migraine sufferers of an incoming episode, detect malaria through scent alone in clinical trial conditions, identify early-stage Parkinson's disease through olfactory markers. Dogs are hardwired to understand human emotional energy. Everything covered in this video flows from one single foundational truth. Dogs have been co-evolving alongside human beings for somewhere between 15,000 and 40,000 years. That is an almost incomprehensible duration of shared existence. During that time, natural selection consistently favored the dogs who were best at reading humans. They received more food. They were kept closer to shelter and safety. They survived and reproduced, passing their perceptive abilities forward. Over tens of thousands of generations, this produced an animal that is not trained to understand humans. It is genetically structured to understand us. A landmark study from Eötvös-Loránd University, ELTE, in Budapest, one of the world's leading canine cognition research centers, found that dogs follow human social cues more intuitively than chimpanzees, our closest biological relatives. Dogs have developed a hardwired sensitivity to human gaze direction, pointing gestures, emotional facial expressions, the feeling carried inside a person's tone of voice. Recent neuroimaging research revealed that the canine brain processes emotionally charged human voices in the same neural regions that human brains use to process emotion. Your dog doesn't just hear your voice, they experience the feeling behind it. These are not reflexes. These are intentional acts of emotional communication from a species that has spent millennia mastering the full language of human feeling. So the next time your dog plants their feet, locks their gaze on a stranger, and that low sound begins in their chest, ask yourself one question: what do they know that I don't? Because science has a clear answer. Quite a lot.